In 1974, 5,000 people vanished from an island overnight. They left everything behind. Nobody ever returned. The schools were empty. The apartments were abandoned. The hospital doors stood open. Children's belongings remained where they had been left. Televisions sat silent. Classrooms froze in time. Within a matter of days, one of the most densely populated places on Earth became a ghost town. Today, the island still exists. You can see it from the coast of Japan. Dark, silent, decaying. A concrete nightmare rising from the sea. Its official name is Hashima Island, but most people know it by another name, Battleship Island. Once you understand its story, you'll never look at abandoned places the same way again. From a distance, Hashima doesn't look real. It looks like something from a post-apocalyptic movie. Massive grey buildings crowd together behind giant seawalls. Broken windows stare out like empty eyes. The entire island resembles an abandoned warship floating on the ocean. That's how it got its nickname. But long before it became a ghost town, Hashima represented the future. Originally, it was little more than a rocky outcrop. In the late 1800s, enormous coal deposits were discovered beneath the ocean floor. Coal was the fuel powering factories and railroads. Suddenly, Hashima became incredibly valuable. One of Japan's most powerful companies, Mitsubishi, took control of the island. What followed was extraordinary. Buildings rose from the sea. Apartment blocks climbed skyward. Schools and hospitals opened. Stores, restaurants, temples, and playgrounds filled every available space. Every square foot mattered. The island was tiny. At its peak, more than 5,000 residents occupied the island. Imagine placing an entire city onto a few city blocks. Families lived almost on top of each other. Children played in narrow concrete corridors. Neighbors could hear conversations through walls. Yet for many residents, Hashima was home, a complete self-contained world. People were born, worked, and married there. It was like a futuristic experiment decades ahead of its time, an entire vertical city rising from the ocean. But beneath the surface, another story was unfolding, a darker one. The island's prosperity depended entirely on coal. Miners descended hundreds of feet beneath the seafloor every day. The work was brutal, dangerous, and claustrophobic. Rockfalls could happen. Flooding was a constant threat. Explosions were always possible. The deeper they went, the harsher it became. During World War II, the island's history grew even darker. Forced laborers from Korea and China were brought to work in the mines. Many suffered terribly. Some never left alive. Today, this remains one of the most painful chapters in Hashima's story. Despite these realities, the island continued growing for decades. The city seemed unstoppable. Then the world changed. By the 1970s, oil had become the dominant energy source, cheaper and more practical. Across Japan, coal mines began shutting down. Hashima's future was disappearing. Without coal, there was no reason for anyone to stay. In January 1974, Mitsubishi made the announcement. The mine would close. The heartbeat of the island stopped. Families packed their belongings. Businesses closed. Schools emptied. Almost everyone left, practically all at once. An entire city vanished from the map. Within months, the island became completely deserted. No children, no workers, only silence. Imagine walking through your neighborhood tonight, seeing the lights glowing, then returning tomorrow to find every person gone. Nature immediately began taking over. Typhoons battered buildings, rainwater seeped through cracks, concrete fractured, metal rusted. Plants forced their way through abandoned structures. Year after year, the island slowly decayed, frozen in time. For decades, visitors weren't allowed to enter. The buildings became too dangerous. Rumors and ghost stories followed. Many claimed the island felt haunted, not by spirits, but by absence itself. Everywhere you look, there are signs of lives interrupted. Empty classrooms, abandoned staircases, dust-covered apartments, forgotten personal items. Photographers and filmmakers became obsessed. Some may even recognize it from the James Bond film Skyfall. Today, tourists visit limited sections through protected pathways, and almost everyone experiences the same reaction: disbelief. The island feels impossible, not because it was abandoned, but because it was once so alive. Every crumbling wall tells a story. Every apartment once contained a family. Every silent hallway once echoed with steps. Hiroshima reminds us how temporary everything is. For decades, people believed it represented the future, a symbol of progress. Then, one industry changed, and an entire civilization vanished almost overnight. The schools, jobs, families, and the city disappeared, but the buildings remained standing in silence, waiting. Sometimes the places we think will last forever can become ghosts in a single generation.